Hello and welcome to Crypt of the Ruby Dragon. Today we have something a little bit different. We just have a one-on-one D&D session, so I will go ahead and kick off the recap. So last time, Terra went into a semi-plane, demi-plane trap set out by her arch nemesis Paita. She died a lot, was resurrected a lot, learned about her past, and then escaped. And the rest of the group, not in the demi-plane, learned or watched in horror as a magical duel left hundreds in rock below dead, coming to find out that they were collateral damage in a struggle between the Archmage of the Academia Magus, Ren Folker, confronting Billy of the Vineyard. The conflict abruptly concluded at a draw as the party arrived, and Ren vanished after telling Alvin that he needed to see them. Okay. And Billy told the party afterward that if they ever fucked him over like that again, he'd kill him. And Dusk's actions to return the tome to the vineyard have caused great waves within the political arena of the Citadel. And then while the rest of the party returned to meet up with Terra, Dusk set out on their own path. They returned to the Abyss.
Whoops.
Okay, let me see. I swear I had the music queued up, but I've already forgotten which one it was. Was it this one?
No worries. Was it?
We'll find out in one moment.
Sounds good.
This will do. I think you jinxed me because when you said you were sniffly, like I was all of a sudden overcome with sinuses. So I'm just gonna struggle with it for a moment. Okay. So as I pull up my stuff, the depth of the darkness is something you'd grown accustomed to in your adolescence. Still, having spent so long on the surface, you feel the mystical notes of dread seep into your skin. The fear that the people of the Abyss live with and embrace. Beyond the small globules of light cast by the ever-lit lanterns is who knows what. Within the wavering light are colorful tints of red, yellow, and blue. You can see your horned tribe milling about, prattling on to one another, and often laughing. There are many fires outside the family tents. Periodically, you see a tiefling emerge through a fire, only to have the flames of their body put out by buckets of dust. These are the people of the Wandering Mother, tieflings, guides to all who would traverse the abyss to seek other planes of existence. You are home. What are you doing?
Well, first of all, I would like to say that Dusk, now that they are, probably since they actually have gone underground, has not been wearing their iconic hat because they do not need their veil to shield their eyes from the bright sun anymore. So they've got it sort of hooked onto the end of their lantern. And they are just making a beeline for their family's tent.
Okay. And as you pass the red tents of the Bedlam family, and the yellow tents of the Patrollers, the blue tents of the Humors, you arrive at your tents, the Asylum.
Dusk takes a deep breath. Oh my goodness, I am so sorry. I don't know how I gave you my sniffles like digitally, but like, I don't know. Gotta watch it. You guys watch out too. Anyways.
I'm muted to the
Um,
stream, just not you. So if I sneeze, like they don't hear it, so just keep going.
all right. So Dusk is trying very hard to keep a stony expression on their face. And after a moment, they will push open the flap and step in.
As you step inside, you see a number of explorers packs set out by the door as they normally would be, and quarterstaffs set up without the lantern that's normally hooked upon them. And laid out, you see the temporary living situation that your family has grown accustomed to. You have bedrolls and sleeping cots and maybe a footlocker or two, but not much else is here besides members of your family. And as you look over, you see none other than Lumen and Faith looking over at you and giving you a smile and saying, "Well, hello. Welcome. Welcome home."
Thank you. Hall not here?
No, Hall went out on an escort job not too long ago with Dawn.
Well, it's probably for the best. Excuse me for a moment. They kind of shift their weight at the entrance for a moment before looking back to the other two. They cling onto their staff. And again, their usual smile is gone, and they're just really trying to keep this stern look on their face. Although it's pretty clear that it's a little difficult for them. I need to ask some questions.
Roll insight.
Immediately. Alright. That makes me feel good about this whole thing. 16?
You can see that both Lumen and Faith are a little stiff in their body language.
Hmm. I guess, first, is everything alright here?
Faith takes a moment to look up and I don't know. I haven't been too certain lately. If I'm being honest, you know we prefer to be honest here. I don't know. I don't know if everything's alright anymore.
Well, that makes a few of us. Dusk turns their eyes to Lumen, who is the one that they had messaged before. So, why do you trust D?
Wouldn't say it's a matter of trust for D. I do confess it's more of a matter of survival for the family. You know what I mean. He's a good client to all of our families here in the camp. Imagine something ran afoul of what you were asking about then, huh?
Yes, you could say that. Can I ask why you wanted me to give that to them?
Well, you and I both know that doesn't belong to us. And it doesn't belong to your friends now, does it?
Certainly doesn't, but Dusk kind of just looks down and paws at the ground for a moment. A lot of people died because of what I did. It seems like that might be the case going forward, too. She also attacked us.
He did?
Not directly, but sent someone to attack us when I was trying to hand the book over.
Well, we don't really take sides here as tieflings. What Dee is doing is not necessarily something that I either condone or would know personally about. He left the camp a really long time ago. Do you know how long ago?
About a year, maybe a little more.
It's been 100 years.
Oh.
Did she tell you a year? Well, time does fly, I suppose. Depending on what's going around. Have a seat. He gestures to one of the cots and sits. Does the dad sit, slapping the knees, and sort of anchors down on a cot beside you? If you take the seat.
Dusk will set their lantern aside and wipe at their face a little bit and sit down.
Faith is going to give both of you a nod and then exit the tent. Well, Dusk, me and your mother have been talking about this, actually. I think it's about time you learned a thing or two. And you learn a thing or two will really end up helping you make your decision about how you're going forward, I think. And we can't make that decision for you. Now, if you're willing to listen and explore, then I can help you get there, but I can't make the decision for you, if you understand what I'm saying.
Of course, I came here for guidance because I didn't know what to do. I feel like I was losing my way and doing everything wrong.
Well, it's easy to do things wrong, honestly. One of the dangers of having our kind out on the surface is that there's other things at play. You're not visiting the shrines, first of all, and that tends to keep us sort of focused on what our purpose is. And when we travel too far away and we don't come home and see family, then that's another different kind of problem. There ain't nobody up there like you, Dusk. There's nobody that's gonna be able to understand where you come from or who you are. Need to see a tiefling.
I was hoping that Dee would be that person, but
Dee's not a tiefling anymore.
I can see that.
Yeah, a lot of us in the family, we get to that point you're at right now. Some of us choose to stay in the camp, stay down here. And those of us that choose to go back up to the surface or do who knows what in some other plane. Once you leave like that, though, you make this decision. That's it. And I'll tell you why. Once you know the truth, there is no looking back, There is no return from knowing what's behind the curtain.
What truth is that exactly? Truth about why I went up there, why I was given that vision, why anybody is inclined to wander into any other plane.
What vision are you talking about, Dusk?
The one I told you about, that Dawn and I had before we left. You don't remember?
You sure you told me?
I'm positive. They sit back for a moment. Yes, it was. Dawn and I both had the vision at the same time when we were sleeping one time, and I was led up to the surface, and they were led further into the abyss, and we both felt real comforted by this presence, this like sphere of dim light around us, and felt like it was a message that we were meant to go there. You really don't remember?
You know what, Dusk? I don't. And what it sounds like happened is you told the wrong person that looked just like me. There's a lot of things that Dee does around here that I don't necessarily understand or can track or stop him from doing. What was involved in your vision?
As I check my notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. Dusk thinks for a long moment. I genuinely think that was it. It was as simple as just feeling called. Feeling comforted by the fact that we were being called.
So when you left camp, Dusk, I had a few things I was thinking about. I was thinking about how most tieflings go through that when they're growing up. You don't quite understand where they come from or where they're going. They try to find where they come from by going other places. I think you're looking in the wrong place. You went up to the surface because you had a vision, right?
Right.
Well, I think now you've been working on your magic. You've been working on your being able to speak to the wandering mother and handle that, right? It is conceivable to you that maybe someone gave you that vision, right? Maybe not the wandering mother.
Well, I suppose now that you mention it, Just couldn't imagine why anybody would want to, you know?
He sits forward and kind of points at you, almost touching you on the shoulder, but doesn't quite. How many sacreds have you collected?
I've been a little short. They go through their bag as I pull up my inventory. I got 6 on me right now. I've used at least a couple. But
Six sacreds. That's not bad. I'm proud of you. You ever wonder why we collect secrets?
because that's what we're supposed to do, right?
That's right. I'm gonna give you something, Dusk, and you can choose to use it or not. Reaches into pocket and pulls out a small crystal ball. Pulls it out to you.
They hesitate for a long moment before accepting it. What is this? If you don't mind me asking.
I think it's time you found out where we was born. Where we were all born.
You look down at the orb.
As you look at the orb, you see that it is clear in its structure, and within there are swirls of greenish light that reflect. And it's moving within the crystal in a slow churning motion.
Alright. And this is gonna help do that?
It's gonna get you to where you need to go. Roll a history check.
Gladly. Nat 1 for 2.
You've seen these crystal balls before, but you can't quite place where you've seen them. The unique thing that you've seen within the camp, but you've never held one.
Can you refresh my memory of, light on the surface is, kind of makes my memory a little fuzzy. I don't exactly remember what this does.
That right there is gonna point you in the right direction. Now, if you want the truth, you can leave our camp and you can start walking. That orb's gonna take you where you need to go. Only go if you're ready to do it and you're ready to find out. I'm telling you, there's no turning back from knowing the truth. Or you can go back to the service, work things out with your friends and everybody else. It's up to you. If you do that though, you're handing that back and you won't know the truth.
I don't think I can go back. It's because of me that so many people up there died. And we're supposed to keep people safe. I even got my team into trouble.
Wouldn't be nothing that you haven't dealt with before, I assume. But sometimes teams and bridges just need to be mended by some kind words and a little bit of faith, a little bit of work. Don't act like it's the only choice you got. You do have two choices.
I just don't know.
Don't know what?
I thought the whole reason I was up there was for some higher purpose, and...
Oh, you were. You definitely were. The truth of that purpose, though, what I'm getting at.
Well, I don't feel I'm quite ready to go back, so...
And you made your choice. And I'll support you. That does mean something, though. It does mean that you're always going to have a place here. Understand that. No matter what happens.
Thank you. I missed you.
Missed you too, Dusk.
And Dusk kind of like wipes a tear from their eye and just looks down at the orb. Well, no time like the present. I was considering making a pilgrimage for this all anyway, so I'm ready to go as soon as I say goodbye.
All right. Well, take care of yourself and make sure that you bring enough candles with you. It's always darker than you think out there.
Thanks. Dusk is just going to kind of like lean over and just lean on them for a moment.
He's gonna reach up and put a hand on the back of your head, like he used to.
All right. They hop up to their feet.
I'll see you when you get back.
I'll see you. Thank you.
You're most welcome.
Grab their lantern and hop out of the tent and glance around for Faith.
You can see Faith is about 10 feet off from the tent, sort of standing there with hands like this. Oh, Dusk. Are you leaving?
Yeah, sorry I couldn't stay longer.
Oh, all right. That's fine. That's fine. I just wanted to make sure you're doing all right.
They just kind of walk over to Faith and do the same sort of thing where they just lean on them before giving like a half-assed hug with one of their arms.
Faith is gonna attempt to both arm hug you and squeeze at you. And during that, she's gonna whisper in your ear. Dusk, careful who you trust, I think is all I'd say. And don't forget that family's really what makes us who we are. And we're never going to turn our backs on you. Other people will.
They nod. Give a little squeeze before pulling back. Yeah. Thank you.
I'll see you when you get back then. All right?
Yeah.
And make sure you have enough candles, and make sure that you bring enough food, and make sure that you have an extra pair of shoes in case they get worn out, and bring an extra cloak. Sometimes it gets a little. Well, I know that, but don't you like the little bootsies with the little yarn on them if you're taking a nap? And then don't forget.
I haven't worn those little boots since I was like 4. No.
If you just wait a moment, I can get you another cloak in case it gets cold, and then I can I'll get that for you. And then she goes into the tent and returns with an extra thicker padded cloak for you and hands it over. He like folds it unnecessarily like 4 times before passing it to you.
Tucks it into their bag. All right, well, stock up and head out, so I missed you, and it's good to see you, and I'll be back.
All right, I'll see you. I'll see you when you get back. Bye now.
They're going to trot off and restock on anything that they need to for replacing their usual arcane focus. Why do I never remember that word? With the new orb that they have.
It is a +1 arcane focus. And
Neat.
you now have +1 to all of your magical checks.
Very nice.
It will also increase your DC by 1. You can name it whatever you'd like. The orb that your daddy handed you.
All right. The orb my daddy handed to me.
Call it that if you want.
I'm gonna have to manually remember the +1. Because I don't think there's a +1 arcane focus. I didn't see one at least.
Yeah, I don't worry about it right now. We'll fix it later.
Yep. Anyways. Sick. They're gonna head off into the abyss.
So as you approach the edge of the camp, you can see the darkness, almost like a cloud, that your crystal ball starts to pierce as you draw near. And you can see the light from both the crystal ball and the lantern start to grow brighter. And you're surrounded in a 30-foot diameter sphere of light as you step into the darkness. And after you do, you can't see the camp anymore. Beneath you, it's all gravel, soot, and shale, dark stone that crunches beneath your hooves. And it's suddenly very hot. And then, very cold. And the temperature rises and falls as though a breeze is passing over you every few seconds.
Home sweet home. They do not say out loud, but think.
As you're stepping along for a few moments, the light that is creating this orb around you starts to shrink. And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Good. 12? I've got a +7. I'm not bad at them.
What is it that Dusk is afraid of?
The thing that Dusk is most afraid of is losing everything that they care about, which is 90% their family, their home, which they bring their home with them, so just not being welcomed back, basically.
You feel a tap on your head, and suddenly what you're seeing changes to what you would see normally as you come out of the fire, and you're doused with the dust. And you can see the tents before you in shambles. You can see that they've been torn down and burnt.
They're going to hesitantly step around, knowing this probably isn't real, but still feeling all weird about it. And just instinctively head towards where their family's tent would be.
As you arrive back to where your family's tent would be, you see the assorted memorabilia that your brother and your sister and everything that they used to carry with them, such as their lanterns and their outfits, are laid out as though on display in front of the tent. Make a wisdom saving throw.
Nat 20 for 27?
You are drawn back into the darkness of the abyss, and you can feel a hot wind brush over you as the vision fades.
Ugh. Yeah, all right.
The green lit orb that your father had handed you glimmers and shoots out a bright light in a cylinder straight ahead.
Follow after the light.
And as you are walking along, the pebbles and the stones turn into a finer dust. It turns more powdery and white in its substance. You're walking for quite a long time, and you have time to reflect on your life. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
I'm good at that. 4.
Your vision is suddenly brightened up with the strike of lightning as you watch the cavern ceiling from rock below tumble down. And it's almost in slow motion as you go through the streets of rock below and you meet dozens of people moments before they are crushed by the cavern ceiling. And it feels like it could have been at least a week that you're doing this before you're brought back to staring into the darkness of the abyss once again.
Follow the light.
You can hear in the distance the chittering of folk that are generally unfriendly to everyone. Make a nature or survival check.
20?
You know of a variety of creatures who sound like that. Mostly demons. Who swoop about through the abyss and they look for little motes of light or the fabric of the weave being used in the abyss in which they can track. I need you to make a stealth check.
This is where Dusk dies. 8.
You can hear some noise and some flapping of wings. And a brief right outside the globule of light projected by both your lantern and the crystal ball.
And zap it with a little sacred flame. Which is a dexterity saving throw of 15.
You can see briefly, for a moment, the flame connect with an outline, the form of a small impish creature that lights up like a piece of parchment wood in a very vicious flame, and then is snuffed out.
Dusk stops for a moment, takes a deep breath in an attempt to regain their composure and not stumble over their own little hoofs. And then they try and continue forward quietly.
You feel as the air drops and starts to prickle your skin, starts to tighten around you. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
Would you believe another 8?
And as the cold darkness forces its way in, the light around you shrinks till it's only 20 feet from where your lantern is. And you gain 1 point of exhaustion as you are struggling and failing to hold back the darkness.
How exciting. All right. Still going.
The green light that shoots out a small pillar of green energy leads you in a straight line, and you continue on, and something at the very tip of your memory starts to stir up based on a smell that you think you can remember. I need you to make an intelligence saving throw.
Nat 20 for 21?
What is Dust's happiest memory?
probably one of the calmer times back at the camp with their family, the whole group of tieflings, the whole what is the word? Tribe of tieflings.
You're sitting around the campfire, and your sister Dawn is playing a lute that you're dancing along to, and you had just received a new dress that you were trying out, actually from the elves in the Glimmering Forest. And it's filled with something that you hadn't seen before. The glittering dress. After a few moments, the abyss returns to you, and you see only darkness.
Sure is a roller coaster of time, isn't it? They again think to themselves, not saying out loud.
Your hooves, you can hear very softly as the ground turns to a solid stone. No longer gravel, dust, but solid rock as you start to ascend slightly.
Neat. Gonna be particularly careful to try and not make any noise while here. We'll see how that goes, but
And I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
$16.
You can hear from the direction of where the greenish light is pointing you towards. You can hear a whisper. A gentle, very melodic tone.
Any idea what it's saying, what language it's in?
In abyssal. You can't quite make out what it is saying yet, though.
Would I know of demons who use this method to lure people out?
Make a nature check.
Or survival?
Sure.
Aw, you're so sweet. 18?
There's definitely demons that do this.
Neat. And it's right where the
Yep.
orb is pointing? Cool.
That's what it seems like.
Well,
As you ascend up the stone hill, and your hooves make small, very light clicking noises. You can feel another sudden cold breeze pushing against the light, and I need you to make a Constitution saving throw.
5.
5. You immediately see as the light withdraws, and you have about 10 feet in front of you now as the lantern grows more dim, and you can see the flame within your lantern that is struggling to stay lit.
They're going to stop for a moment, make a quick prayer under their breath to the Wandering Mother. Try and focus on keeping their flame lit. Continue on.
After you say the prayer to the wandering mother. You can see the flame steadies, but it doesn't grow any brighter. And as you continue on, you can hear just touching and brushing up against your ears. So someone is with their lips right next to you. I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
20.
20.
20.
Dusk. You're making the right choice.
They pause, hesitate just for a moment. Shake their head and continue on.
As you continue on, you see you feel it slope upward until eventually you reach some steps that have been carved very precisely, and all of a sudden you can feel the wind from two different directions pushing up against the light, and you can hear the howls of voices of those long passed away and being tortured within the abyss, escaping past your periphery. I need you to make a Constitution saving throw. You see as the light struggles against these voices and pulls back and recedes until you can only see what's directly in front of you, and the flame in your lantern barely illuminates your own face and your hand.
This is going great. This is going great. I love it. All right.
And biting and grasping at the tips of your cloak and your clothing, you can feel claws, fingers. You can feel something pulling at you from the darkness. The green light is still pointing you up the stairwell. What are you doing?
Would I have a grasp on how long this has been, or is time sort of lost?
It's always difficult to tell time in the abyss, but you can make an intelligence check.
I'm great at those. $13?
It's been at least a few hours.
Okay. Would I know about how long in between I keep feeling the abyss pulling away at my light?
What do you mean?
Would Bless be of any use to me right now, or would it just vanish too quickly? That's fair.
You could try it. As you're looking at the ground, you can see that this is the start of some kind of structure. Been built. Make of that what you will. What are you doing?
I think they are going to give themselves a little bless because they're having a hard time. Then they're going to continue onwards.
Okay. And stumbling a little bit up the stairs, is you're not quite sure how to gauge each step, and you come to find out each step is of different heights. For whatever reason.
Mm-hmm.
And you step onto flat stone tile once again, and you find that it is onyx in color. And the light that emanates from the arcane focus your father gave you points you down a hallway and ends what appears to be 20 feet away.
All right. Head on in.
As you step through a small, person-sized doorway, it brushes up against both of your arms, and you can feel now that you're inside. The wind has stopped, and the light from your lantern expands and fills the chamber. And within the chamber, to your left, you can see a statue of a curly-haired figure with elongated fangs, topaz eyes, sinking their teeth into what appears to be a shriveled humanoid. Someone wearing a tattered robe, and the grip on its staff is slipping as it is defeated.
Do I recognize the curly-haired figure
Make
by
a
chance?
history check.
Oh man, I am rolling so good today. 7.
Difficult to say, although you feel as though you've seen this person before.
I feel as though I have. Anything else in this room?
As you step forward in the chamber, you see to your right what appears to be a mural, a bas relief carved in stone. The history told in 3 parts. You can see a dragon and various portals beneath him, and the dragon sitting upon a throne. In the throne, drifting through what appears to be a sea. In the center of the mural, you can see a long-fanged vampire and a massive dragon grappling with one another. And then you can see beneath the dragon skeletal hands reaching out to grasp at the dragon and shriveling the flesh that it touches. The light from your orb is still pointing across the chamber. And as you look in that direction, you can see a statue.
After looking that mural over for a few moments, step over towards that statue. Stand tight.
You can see a 6.5-foot human figure
Go on.
with curls, and their hair has been painted in amber color You can see on their powdered skin freckles and irises painted gold with black pools for eyes. Staring down at you wearing robes, and beneath that, a dress.
Don't mind me as I just take a couple notes.
Okay. You searching for that description in your notes?
No, I'm pretty sure I don't take notes that well. I wouldn't have this description in my notes. But if I remember correctly, this is their majesty? Maybe? Am I thinking right? Probably not. Who knows? My memory's bad.
So, as you're gazing upon the statue,
Uh-huh.
you're struck with a sudden realization that this is someone you've seen before. Someone you've seen in the same room as you. And as you come to that realization, they start to move. And the statue itself becomes flesh. They blink a few times. And they reach forward their hand to take the orb from you.
Dusk takes a couple steps back and kind of shields it a little bit, just looking very uncertainly at them.
Welcome to my home. What is your name?
I'm the Sacred Dusk that is the Lyman of Asylum and Abyss.
I see, of course. We've met before. I'm Ashlyn Ravenna. What brings you to this place?
Excuse me. I was guided here.
By that? And then she's going to step forward and reach again for the orb.
They again take a small step back.
Oh, I wouldn't be
Yes.
too quick about that. You must not understand what I just told you. Now, hand it to me.
The light still pointing at them.
Yes.
After side-eyeing them for a moment, they'll take the orb and offer it over.
As soon as Ashlyn touches the orb, you can see the stony exterior completely vanishes, and you can see the dust sort of fall away from their form, and you're left with a much more humanoid appearance. Shakes her head. Oh, that's much better. Welcome to my temple. And you're Dusk. Dusk. I've heard this before. You are here because you've come of age and you want to learn more about something. Am I incorrect about this?
I definitely want to learn more about a lot of stuff, yes. You have the answers that I need?
I have everything that I need. However, I'm always wanting more, if I'm being quite honest with you. Here you are. And then tosses the orb back to you. Good catch.
Thanks.
You know who I am, then.
If the DM will tell me because I don't take notes if I'm right or if I'm wrong.
Ashlyn Ravenna is the head of the vineyard.
Okay. Thank you. Yes, I know who you are. Sorry, I'm attempting to take notes. Carry on.
And who gave you that orb, might I ask?
Supposedly my father, but at this point I don't even know.
Well, I suppose now is the day that you learn. Do you know how tieflings are made?
Not how they're made exactly, no. Just know that we're... What do you know?
What do I know? I know everything. So, I'd be happy to share with you. However, and I'm sure your father warned you about this. If you want to know a secret, there is no turning back. If you want to know a secret,
Yes, I believe I do want to know.
wonderful. Wonderful. I'm glad that we can finally welcome you to the family proper. There, Dusk. Tieflings. They're all made in my image. You know what my image is.
They just kind of give them a look.
Well, my image. I am, something more than, selfish creatures, but I've been around for quite a while. And through some, little bit of cleverness, I've managed to claw my way out of, one form or another, and find some representation back on the material plane. You and your family, you're my representatives. For better or for worse. Some of you wander off after you learn the truth. That's fine. Or before you do, I should say. Everyone who knows the truth and doesn't serve me, there's consequences, as you understand. But I found out what you did with the tome, and I'm pleased. I'm happy about it, let's just say. Sometimes I get a little bit lost in my, that's the trouble of being thousands of years old. Sometimes you get a little lost. What was the question?
I'm sorry, I'm just a little...
Overwhelmed. Most tieflings are when they come here. They just don't know what to expect. They think, oh, I'm going to meet the Wandering Mother and she's going to embrace me, and they wouldn't be someone that they already know about. But I am. I'm the Wandering Mother. You can be more than one thing. It's a bit of an experiment for me. I think that you and your family, you're doing a lot of good for me. Gathering of secrets and things like that. Very helpful overall. I think in due time, you can be properly rewarded, you and your family, once I'm free.
Tusk just kind of looks them over for a moment, not entirely sure if they should believe. For once in their life, they're questioning whether they should just believe what somebody is saying.
But you can insight check if you'd like.
They will.
Okay.
Not that it matters with the 12, but
It's hard to say. You've seen, this is perhaps the most reality-altering conversation you've ever had. With the claim that you have with this person who's reputed to be a vampire, claiming to be the Wandering Mother, who was previously a statue until they touched the crystal ball that you had brought from your father. Who knows what reality is at this point?
indeed.
What questions do you have? I'm sure you have plenty. We've got a little bit of time before I have to get to something else.
I guess, first of all, is there any way, I'm not saying that I doubt you, of course, but is there any way that you can prove? I've had a lot of doubt recently. I just want to be sure.
Any way I can prove what, exactly?
What you're saying? Who you are?
Who I am? Oh. Very well. Snaps their fingers. And you feel, all of a sudden, a great loss as all of your clerical abilities leave your form.
They immediately just double over for a moment.
Now, I hate to do that, but you did ask. And I'm here to be a very reasonable, very friendly patron for you. But patron, matron, theatron, I go by many things, but I am here to make sure that you and your family are happy. Just as you do things for me, I do things for you. And together we're stronger. Don't you see that?
They stand upright again, still kind of just like holding themselves, feeling just absolutely, to say disconnected obviously would be one word, but very strange. All right, I suppose I believe you.
Wonderful.
My apologies.
Wonderful. Snaps her fingers and you feel the rush, the joy, the familiarness, the comfort, the love of the Wandering Mother enter you once again.
Immediate relief on their face. They just clutch at their lantern for a moment.
Now, you must be so curious. And I have, as I said, a little bit of time. Because I do like to reward faithful loyalists like you. Ask me anything.
I thought I was given a vision. I thought it was not too long ago, but I just spoke to who at least I thought it was my father, and They told me differently, and I just don't know. Did did that happen? Was it a sign? Was I supposed to?
They reach up and brush some curls out of their face. Close your eyes. That was D fucking with you. D tends to do things like that, unfortunately. However, they're very productive, so I tend to not punish D very often.
Dust just looks absolutely heartbroken hearing this.
The good news is, you've come around one way or another to finding out the truth. And the truth, honestly, is that you belong here or serving in some way or another. And the way you went to the surface as you did, you learned a lot of things, didn't you?
Suppose so. Wasn't all great though, but don't suppose much is.
Did you end up caring for those folks in the company at all?
May have gotten a little attached to you.
Well, I won't hold that against you. You're still immortal. Do you want me to change that? I can make you undead real quick.
But no, thank you.
Well, offer's open when you get old. Let you know. What I did for D anyway. Why do you think D's still alive? Tieflings don't live that long.
Right. Yep.
Makes a lot of sense, doesn't it? Anyway, the tome. Appreciate you bringing that back. He returned it to me the other day. I think, next time you're on the surface, maybe you stop by and we'll have a chat. I do get some, very fine feasts. Since you're immortal, maybe you'd appreciate it. I am rich, so.
I don't really care about that, but no offense, of course.
Oh, the tome or feast?
Money.
Oh, money. That makes sense.
But
You should really only care about pleasing me, if we're being honest, because you can see terrible things happen when you don't. That's what you're made for. I try to make it accommodating as I can, but things are as they are.
that's what I've been trying to do, that and just guide people and keep them safe, but...
And you are keeping them safe. You don't know quite what from yet, do you?
No, and people just died because of what I did.
That's right. They did. Unfortunate. Not something that I did. Not something that Billy did. Something that Archmage did. Not everybody's civil, especially on the surface. They don't see or understand or believe in what we're doing here in the vineyard.
I don't know, that mage might have done it himself, but he did it because of what I did.
Listen. Would you blame an imp for being an imp? Would you blame a devil for being a devil? Would you blame a tiefling for being loyal to their family?
Of course not.
It's just in the magic's nature to question what the undead are doing. But in the scheme of things, really, we're doing a lot for the public good. Just most people don't agree with our methods. You ever wonder, what's everybody so concerned about? What's everybody milling about in the city for? What's all the politics about, right?
Only wondering in that I don't understand them. I don't even want to try and wrap my head around any of that.
They point over your shoulder. What do you think of that, Muriel?
My head hurts so much I can't think very much right now.
That's fine. Would you like to know more about it, though?
If you don't mind, ma'am.
Well, you see there, that's Chia Gaidat. See that dragon?
Heard a little bit about them, but don't know too much. Never did really research.
Right. Chia Gaidat and me go way back. Centuries might be. The problem with Chia Gaidat is they want to run things here their way. And that's fine. But the way they'd like to run things is to get rid of the undead, and that's who I am, so not really fond of that. Me and Chia Gaidat have never seen eye to eye about much of anything, really. And I tell you, things are rather unpleasant in my circumstance with where I am presently. As you might have gathered, this isn't me, right? This statue. This place. When you saw me earlier on the surface, I might be a little bit something more than what you're used to. Might explain your clerical powers, for instance, you and your families. But did you ever think about... I suppose not, since you're just making this revelation. Ashlyn Ravenna. On the surface, right? What is Ashlyn Ravenna? Who is Ashlyn Ravenna? That just a vessel? Could be. A little confusing altogether, isn't it? So, let me ask you this. What are you doing after you leave this temple? Tell me what you're doing. I promise not to kill you. It's the only time I'll make a promise like that, because I'd like some honesty.
Well, thank you for that.
No problem. I'm very generous.
Yes, you are. For now, all I know that I'm going to do is return home and figure out where to go from there.
That's right. Well, you're planning to rejoin the company on the surface. Knowing what you know now changes things, doesn't it?
Yes.
There's always a place for you in the vineyard. But, like I said, you gotta be undead. It's a bit of a change for you.
I don't know. I still don't think I can.
Well, the door's open for later. Consider it. If you did go back to the surface, though, what are you doing?
I don't think I can. Knowing all this, I don't know.
All right, then. It's your choice. You want to stay here with your family? That's fine. There's a place for everybody who serves me, be it in the abyss or on the surface. I want you to know, I love you, and I accept who you are, even when nobody else would.
Dusk is going to give a bit of a bow. Thank you for your time, I suppose. Seems kind of odd thing to say, but...
Oh no, it's the right thing to say. I am a god.
Thank you. Anything else you need from me before I head back?
I don't think so. But, Dusk, I want you to know, you're doing the right thing. And if you change your mind, that's fine as well. You just need to let me know. And we'll make accommodations. There's nothing happens around here that isn't accounted for. There's a lot of roles. A lot of things that need doing. You've done a good job. And the things you helped me see when you were with the company. It's very valuable. So I appreciate that. You've done a good job.
Dusk does not look happy about that, but nods. Thank you. I'm glad I could serve you well. Suppose I'll be on my way then.
Suppose you will then. And you see as she steps back into the place where the statue was and stops moving.
Dusk remains where they are for probably a solid minute or two, just kind of looking between the statue, the mural, the floor. Then they will eventually just turn and begin heading back.
Okay. And as you step into the abyss once again, you find that your lantern doesn't falter anymore. And you find that the strength of your bond with the Wandering Mother is so strong that you have no trouble at all traversing the abyss anymore. And that's where we're going to end tonight's episode.
Woo!
Thanks to everyone who joined us. We're going to have aftercare, don't worry. As I look for someone to raid briefly. Hold on. Yeah.
That was...
Was it a lot? Was it...
It was a little bit of a lot, but also this is coming from somebody who is really bad at taking notes, so take that with a grain of salt.
Yeah, sure. Sure. Okay, yeah, Stella Luna is indeed on, so we're gonna raid Stella Luna. Super awesome person, so say what's up in chat, and thanks for joining us tonight. Y'all take care. Bye.
Bye.